Imagine you're learning how to play the guitar. Week 1, the teacher shows you how to tune it, but a couple weeks go by and you never actually practice tuning your guitar, so gradually it goes out of tune. You are practicing things with your hands in all the right positions, playing songs, but they're not quite sounding right. This is how most Spanish learners treat their pronunciation. They learn the bare minimum at the beginning and then move on to what feels like more pressing things, and never really tackle pronunciation in an intentional way again. Just like you can't master a grammar topic overnight, it takes time and repetition for the sounds of Spanish to start working their way into your own Spanish in a natural way. But in my experience, that practice is very, very worth it for 3 main reasons. It helps you have better communication, better confidence, and better comprehension of Spanish speakers. The first one, better communication, is pretty simple. When you speak clearer Spanish, it's easier for Spanish speakers to understand you. It's easy for us as non-native speakers to overestimate how clear we sound to someone whose ears are not tuned to the sounds of our own native language, whether that's English or another language. Let's take a simple example. If I take the words práctico, practico, and practico, if I have the stress in the wrong position, or if my vowels are not totally clear, it might not be obvious to a Spanish speaker whether I'm using an adjective or a verb in the present tense or a verb in the past tense. There are tons of other examples in Spanish just like this. So among other things, 2 big ways to make sure that you're well understood is to make sure your stress falls in the right position, so whether you're saying práctico or practico, and to make sure that your vowels are really, really clear. When Spanish speakers don't have to try hard to understand you, you get fewer replies in English, fewer confused looks, more positive interactions, and this positive reinforcement makes you want to speak more Spanish, which is great for your Spanish. This ties into the second reason why it's worth focusing on practicing your pronunciation, and that is better confidence. When you can look at any word on a menu and know with certainty how to say it, when you're not doubting yourself mid-conversation, when you know that you're well understood, it takes away a lot of the fear and shyness that a lot of people feel around speaking. And when you're less shy to speak, you're more eager to speak, you get more speaking practice, which in turn helps you improve even more. A simple way to start building more confidence in your pronunciation, start noticing things, is to listen to native speaker audio, record yourself repeating after them, and listen back to the recording, comparing the differences that you hear so that you can pinpoint different areas that you want to work on. We do lots of exercises like this in my pronunciation course. It's called Confident Spanish Pronunciation. If you're interested in a more structured approach to improving your pronunciation, check that out. The link is in the description below. The third reason why it's really worthwhile to work on your pronunciation is that it helps you understand Spanish speakers better. We spend most of our lives surrounded by our native language, and so our ears are really attuned to the sounds of that language. It takes a long time to develop our ears to become more attuned to the sounds of Spanish. So you want to do whatever you can to make sure you're not missing or mishearing any key sounds in Spanish. Part of what you need is a lot more focused listening practice. But that focused listening practice becomes a lot more effective. You get a lot more out of it when you can understand more, when you can pick out the different words that you're hearing. When we practice tuning our ears to the sounds of Spanish, it's like putting on glasses for the first time. It doesn't happen overnight, but gradually the language becomes clearer and clearer. And when you understand better, you can absorb more of the content that you are listening to or watching. To improve how you pick out sounds in Spanish, one simple exercise is to compare cognates from English to Spanish. Actor, actor. Agenda, agenda. Cable, cable. Drama, drama. Informal, informal. If you go to forvo.com, you can type in almost any word in either English or Spanish and hear native speakers pronouncing it and do exactly this exercise. And if you don't just listen, but also repeat after them and even record yourself and listen back, it makes it even more powerful and effective. The cool thing is you can make real progress on your pronunciation in a few minutes a day. When you start incorporating some of the exercises from this video into your learning routine, you look back a few months from now, you'll be really proud of the progress that you made and more excited to speak Spanish. If you're interested in the pronunciation course that I mentioned earlier, the link is down in the description below. And if you're just starting to think about pronunciation, I also have a free guide that'll help you get started and avoid some of the most common mistakes. Check that out at the link in the description below as well. And if you want to keep working on your Spanish, check out this video next where I break down a tricky conversation from a very popular TV show.